Welcome to Lesson 5 of the Role of the Priests in the Kingdom of the Divine Will. We are in Part 1, Who is Louisa? Subsection 3, the 3 appeals, and we are on the 3rd appeal, which is Louisa's appeal. This is Lesson 5. Louisa's appeal. My sweet Jesus, I am here in your arms to ask your help. You know the anguish of my soul, how my heart bleeds, my great repugnance in making known all that you have told me about your most holy volition. Parentheses, because of Louisa's desire to remain anonymous. Close parentheses. Obedience imposes herself. You want it, and though I should be crushed, I am constrained by a supreme force to accomplish the sacrifice. But remember, O my Jesus, that you yourself have called me the little newborn of your most holy divine will. A newborn hardly knows how to stammer. Therefore, what shall I do? I shall scarcely stammer about your volition. You shall do all the rest. Shall you not, O my Jesus? Rather, grant that I may disappear completely, and let it be your volition, which, with divine and indelible letters, dips the pen in that eternal sun, and with golden letters writes the concepts, the effects, the value, the power of the supreme will, and how the soul that lives in it, living as in its center, is ennobled, is divinized, deposes its natural remains, returns to its beginning, and, triumphant over all its miseries, regains its original state, beautiful, pure, and all ordered towards its Creator, as it came forth from his creative hands. You write on this paper the long history of your divine will, your pain in seeing yourself driven back by creatures into the celestial regions. And as a son on high, although rejected, you dart your rays over all the human generations. You want to come down, to come to reign in their midst, and therefore you send the rays of your sighs, of your groanings, of your tears, of your intense and eternal pain in seeing yourself exiled, and the union of your divine will, as it were, broken off from the will of human creatures. And therefore you are waiting for them to call you into their midst, to receive you as triumphant king, and to make you reign on earth as in heaven. Descend, O supreme volition. I am she who first calls you. Come to reign upon the earth. You who created man so that he do only your volition, which he ungrateful broke by rebelling against you. Come to retie anew this human will to yourself, in order that heaven and earth and all may be reordered in you. Oh, how I would give my life so that your volition be known. I would take flight in its interminable confines, to bring to every creature its eternal kiss, its knowledge, its goods, its value, your inexpressible groans, because you want to come to reign upon the earth, so that by knowing you, they receive you with love, and with festivity make you reign. O holy volition, with your luminous rays, shoot forth the arrows of your knowledge. Make known to all that you come to us to make us happy, but not with human happiness, but divine, to give us the lost dominion over ourselves, and that light which makes known the true good to possess it, and the true evil to flee it, that renders us stable and strong, but with a divine strength and stability. Open the current between the divine will and the human, and paint with the brush of your creative hand all those divine lineaments upon our souls which we lost by withdrawing ourselves from it. Your volition shall paint in us that freshness which never grows old, that beauty which never fades, that light which is never overshadowed, that grace which always grows, that love which always burns and is never extinguished. O holy volition, make your way. You make the way to make yourself known. Manifest to all who you are and the great good that you want to give to all, so that attracted, enraptured by such a good, all become the prey of your divine will. And thus you shall be able to reign freely on earth as in heaven. Therefore, I pray you that you yourself write all the knowledge that you have manifested to me on it, and may every word, every saying, every effect and knowledge of it be to those who read darts and arrows, which wounding them, make them fall at your feet, and receive you with open arms, to make you reign in their hearts. To the so many prodigies of your volition, work this one as well, that as they know you, may they not make you pass on. No, but may they open the doors to you, to receive you, and to make you reign. The little newborn of your divine will asks this of you. If you have wanted the sacrifice from me, and with so much insistence of manifesting the secrets that you have communicated to me on your volition, I want another from you, that as it is known, it work this prodigy, that it take its place of triumph and reign in the hearts that know it. This alone do I ask you, O my Jesus. I ask you nothing else. I want nothing but the requital of my sacrifice, that your volition be known and reign with its full dominion. You know, my love, how great has been my sacrifice, my interior struggles, unto feeling myself die, but for your love and to obey your representative on earth, I have submitted myself to all. Therefore, I want the prodigy to be great, that as they come to know your sayings on your volition, may the souls be enraptured, enchained, and attracted more than by a powerful magnet, and may they make that divine fiat reign which you, with so much love, want to reign upon the earth. And if you please, my life, before these writings come to the light of day and go through the hands of your brothers and sisters and mine, bring your little newborn of your divine will into the celestial fatherland. Do not give me this pain, that I should be spectator of our secrets, become known by the other creatures. If you have given me the first pain, spare me the second. But always, not my human will, but your divine will be done. And now a word to all you who shall read these writings. I pray you, I supplicate you to receive with love that which Jesus wants to give you, that is, his will. But to give you his, he wants your human will. Otherwise, it shall not be able to reign. If you only knew with how much love my Jesus wants to give you the greatest gift that exists both in heaven and on earth, which is his divine will. Oh, how many bitter tears he sheds, because he sees that by living with your volition, you drag the ground, sickly, impoverished. You are not capable of maintaining a good resolution. And do you know why? Because his volition does not reign in you. Oh, how Jesus cries and sighs over your lot. And sobbing, he prays you to make his volition reign in you. He wants to change your fortune from sick to healthy, from poor to rich, from weak to strong, from mutable to immutable, from slaves to kings. It is not great penances that he wants, or long prayers, nor anything else, but that his volition reign in you, and that your human will no longer have life. For pity's sake, listen to him. I am ready to give my life for each one of you, to suffer whatever pain, provided that you open the doors of your soul to grant that the volition of my Jesus reign and triumph over the human generations. And now I invite all. Come with me into Eden, where our origin had its beginning, where the Supreme Being created man, and making him king, gave him a kingdom to dominate. This kingdom was the whole universe, but his scepter, his crown, his command came from the depths of this soul, in which resided, as dominating king, the divine Fiat. which constituted the true royalty in man. His garments were royal, more refulgent than the sun. His acts were noble, his beauty enrapturing. God loved him so much, he played with him. He called him my little king and son. All was happiness, order, and harmony. This man, our first father, betrayed himself. He betrayed his kingdom, and by doing his human will, he embittered his Creator, who had so exalted and loved him. And he lost his kingdom, the kingdom of the divine will, in which everything had been given him. The doors of the kingdom were closed to him, and God withdrew to himself the kingdom given to man. Now, I must tell you a secret. God, in withdrawing to himself the kingdom of the divine will, did not say, I shall no longer give it to man, but he kept it on reserve, awaiting the future generations to assail them with surprising graces, with dazzling lights such as to eclipse the human volition, which caused us to lose a kingdom so holy, and with such attractions of admirable and prodigious knowledge of the divine will as to make us feel the necessity, the desire to put aside our volition, which makes us unhappy, and hurl ourselves into the divine will as our permanent kingdom. Therefore, the kingdom is ours. Take courage. The supreme Fiat awaits us, calls us, presses us to take possession of it. Who would be so bold? Who would be so perfidious as to not listen to its call and not accept so much happiness? Only we must leave the miserable rags of our human will, the mourning garment of our slavery, into which this has cast us, to clothe ourselves as queens and adorn ourselves with divine ornaments. Therefore, I appeal to all. I do not believe that you shall not want to listen to me. Did you know this? I am a tiny little child, the smallest of all creatures, and by locating myself in the divine volition together with Jesus, I shall come as little one onto your lap, and I shall knock at your hearts with moanings and tears to ask you, as a little beggar, for your rags, your mourning garments, your unhappy volition, to give it to Jesus, in order that he burn all, and giving you anew his volition, he return to you his kingdom, his happiness, the whiteness of his royal garments. If you only knew what the divine will of God means! This encloses heaven and earth. If we are with it, everything is ours. Everything lends from us. On the contrary, if we are not with it, everything is against us. And if we have something, we are true robbers of our Creator. And we sustain ourselves by means of fraud and rapine. Therefore, if you want to know it, read these pages. In them you shall find the balsam for the wounds that the human will has cruelly inflicted on us, the new air all divine, the life all celestial. You shall feel heaven in your soul. You shall see new horizons, new suns, and often you shall find Jesus with his countenance bathed in tears, because he wants to give you his volition. He cries because he wants to see you happy, and seeing you unhappy, he sobs, sighs, and prays for the happiness of his children, and asking you for your volition to snatch from you your unhappiness, he offers you his as the confirmation of the gift of his kingdom. Therefore, I appeal to all, and I make this appeal together with Jesus, with his own tears, with his ardent sighs, with his heart that burns, that wants to give its fiat. From within the fiat we have come forth. It has given us life. It is just. It is our obligation and duty to return into it, into our dear and interminable heritage. And in the first place, I appeal to the highest hierarch, to the Roman Pontiff, to His Holiness, to the representative of the Holy Church, and therefore the representative of the kingdom of the divine will. At his holy feet, this little tiny child places this kingdom, so that he dominate it and make it known, and with his paternal and authoritative voice call his sons to live in this kingdom so holy. May the Son of the Supreme Fiat invest him and form the first son of the divine volition in its representative on earth, and forming its primary life in him who is the head of all. It shall spread its interminable rays in all the world, and eclipsing all with its light, it shall form one flock and one shepherd. The second appeal I make to all priests. Prostrate at the feet of each one, I pray. I implore them to interest themselves in knowing the divine will. Take your first movement, your first act from it. Rather, enclose yourselves in the fiat, and you shall feel how sweet and dear its life is. Draw from it all your workings. You shall feel a divine strength in you, a voice that always speaks, that shall say admirable things to you that you have never heard. You shall feel a light that shall eclipse all your evils, and eclipsing the peoples, shall give you the dominion over them. How many labors you do without fruit, because the life of the divine will is lacking. You have broken a bread for the peoples without the leaven of the fiat, and they, therefore, in eating it, have found it hard, almost indigestible, and not feeling the life in themselves, they do not submit to your teachings. Therefore, you eat this bread of the divine Fiat. Thus you shall have sufficient bread to give to the peoples. Thus you shall form with all one single life and one single will. The third appeal I make to all, to the entire world, for you are all my brothers and sisters and my children. Do you know why I am calling all? Because I want to give to all the life of the divine will. This is more than air that we can all breathe. It is as sun from which we can all receive the good of the light. It is as palpitation of the heart that wants to beat in all. And as a little baby, I yearn for you to take the life of the Fiat. Oh, if you knew how many goods you would receive! You would consume your life to make it reign in all of you. This little tiny one wants to tell you another secret that Jesus has confided to her. And I tell you it so that you give me your human will, and in exchange you shall receive that of God, which shall make you happy in soul and in body. Do you want to know why the earth does not produce? Why in various points of the earth the ground opens frequently with earthquakes and buries in its bosom cities and persons? Why the wind and the water form storms and devastate all, and so many other evils that you all know? Because created things possess a divine will that dominates them, and therefore they are powerful and dominating. They are more noble than we. We, on the contrary, are dominated by a human will and degraded, and therefore we are weak and impotent. If for our fortune we shall put aside our human will and shall take the life of the divine volition, we too shall be strong, dominating. We shall be brothers with all things created, which not only shall no longer trouble us, but shall give us the dominion over them, and we shall be happy in time and in eternity. Are you not content? Therefore hurry, listen to this poor little one who loves you very much, and then I shall be content when I shall be able to say that all my brothers and sisters are kings and queens, because all possess the life of the divine will. Therefore take courage, all. Respond to my appeal, and I yearn much the more for all to respond to me in chorus to the appeal, because it is not I alone who call you, who pray you, but united to me, my sweet Jesus calls you with tender and moving voice. And many times, even crying, he says to you, take for your life my divine will. Come into its kingdom. Furthermore, you must know that the first to pray to the Heavenly Father, that his kingdom come, and that his will be done on earth as it is in heaven, was our Lord in the Our Father. And in transmitting his prayer to us, he appealed and prayed to all to ask thee, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. The love of Jesus is such, for he wants to give you his kingdom, his fiat, that every time you recite the Our Father, he runs to say together with you, "My Father, it is I who ask you it for my sons. Hurry." Therefore, the first to pray is Jesus himself, and then you also ask for it in the Our Father. Therefore, do you not want such a good? Now I say to you one last word. You must know that the yearnings, the sighs, the anxieties of this little child to see you all in the kingdom of the divine will, to see you all happy, to make Jesus smile, are such, in seeing the yearnings, the deliriums, the tears of Jesus, who wants to give you his kingdom, his fiat, that if she is not successful through her prayers and with her tears, she wants to succeed with caprices, both with Jesus as well as with you. Therefore, everyone, listen to this little tiny one. Do not make her sigh any more. Tell me, please. So be it. So be it. We all want the kingdom of the divine will. Corato, Bari, Italy, 1924. Louisa Picaretta, the little daughter of the divine will. Here ends Lesson 5 of the role of the priests in the kingdom of the divine will. Part 1, Who is Louisa? Subsection 3, The Three Appeals. Fiat.